aquí estamos con el gran John Grant. No necesita introducción. Yo, de verdad, prefiero que busquéis en Google, Google it and look for him and investigate, okay? He's a big man, an amazing, deep, and I have no words to describe him. Can you tell me about the title of your new record, please? What? Yeah.
Yes, I can tell you about the title of my new record. My record is called Pale Green Ghosts, and the Pale Green Ghosts refers to Russian olive trees that line the road, that line parts of the highway where I grew up. And I'd be driving up and down that highway. Usually in late spring, at the end of May, this tree gets little yellow flowers on it. And these little yellow flowers give off the most incredible scent that you can imagine. For me, anyway. It might smell like shit to you, I don't know, but it's amazing for me. Anyway, so it was about remembering those times in my life, those positive times in my life. It was during the 80s when I was an adolescent, and I still love the 80s. Even though it was sort of a shitty time for me growing up, I was very sort of, you know, I was dealing with a lot of sexual confusion, not being able to deal with my homosexuality, so it was a difficult time because I couldn't really have a dialogue with myself about it. But that was one of those beautiful moments that you just sort of grab onto, you know?
Yeah, as you say, it's so intimate. And how was the process of the recording in Reykjavik? Why did you choose that place?
Yeah. Es muy impresionante, ¿no? Well, I fell in love with Iceland when I went to play at Iceland Airwaves. And I met Biggie Vera, one of the masterminds behind Gus Gus. And I'd always been a big fan of Gus Gus, and I asked him if he'd be willing to make some sounds with me for my new record. And then I went back to Iceland and ended up recording my entire album with him, and it was just me and him, and his little studio out in his garage in the middle of winter in Iceland with piles and piles of snow outside and hot cups of coffee and modular synths and synthesizers completely surrounding us, which is my definition of heaven. I mean, piles of snow, hot coffee, synthesizers all over the fucking place. I mean, that is my idea of heaven. Maybe if that guy with the beard had been there too, you know, just sitting, it would have been perfect.
So what about your songs where you talk about homophobia? Do you think they're helping young people, your fans, or the people that follow you?
I don't know. I think it can help. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say things to me to that effect, that it helped them personally. So based on that, I do believe it helps, you know. It wasn't, you know, a lot of times, like in the song Glacier, that talks about how, you know, about the separation of church and state in the United States, you know. And homophobia and stuff like that, you know. I think a lot of times I'm still talking to myself, you know. But I'm also hoping that it helps other people who have the same types of things. There's a lot of people who don't have to grow up with that these days, who don't feel weird about themselves because they're gay, but there's still a lot of people who do have a big problem with it. And there's still places in the world, like Russia, for example, and Iran, you know, where you can't be gay. I mean, in Iran, you know, it's, you know, you can be killed for that. You know, it's punishable by death, is what I was trying to say. But, so yes, I do think it can help. Maybe even if it just gives somebody a little break for 5 minutes, that helps, you know? So.
How was your collaboration with Sinead OConnor?
Well, I adore her. And you know, back when I was driving up and down that highway in Denver with those Pale Green Ghosts, that was when I heard Mandinka for the first time, after her first album. And I never thought that she and I would become close friends or that we would work together. So it's pretty wild, and you know, working with her is an amazing thing. She's really easy to work with. She's really funny, and sense of humor is very important to me. It's probably one of the most important things, right? And she's got all of that. You know, she's got beauty, she's got intelligence, she's got a huge heart, incredible talent, I mean, what else do you want, you know? So.
Do you think music is therapy to go through like bad times and horrible moments?
I mean, it's been music that's gotten me through everything, you know? Music and people. And creating music is therapy for me, of course. You know, if I can feel like I expressed myself at least one time in my life the way that I wanted to, that's an amazing feeling. Because all those times when I was younger, in the moment, and I didn't have any words, you know, or couldn't stand up for myself because I felt like I was sick because that's what I was told, and I felt like people were treating me the way I should be treated when they were fucking with me. And that was the worst part. The worst part wasn't the people. The worst part was that I thought I deserved it. And that's what kills me. When I look back on that, and it fills me with rage and anger. You know, it fills me with, because so much time was wasted, you know, thinking that I wasn't on the same level as other people, you know? So if I can write a song and feel like I said what I wanted to say one time in my life, then that's a pretty amazing thing for me, you know?
It's like art is equal sanity, no? It's something like, yeah. So yeah, just to finish, I don't want to bother you anymore.
For one thing.
I know. What's your favorite bands of the moment right now?
Ooh, that's a really tough question. My favorite band of the moment.
Not a band, but yeah, maybe you can say 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, I still listen to Chris and Cozy all the time, you know, from Throbbing Gristle. I still can't get enough of that. And, God, what did I just download that I love so much? I'm listening to Villagers from Ireland, which I really love. Throwing Muses has always been one of my favorite bands, but I haven't been listening to them a lot lately. I've been buying a lot of new stuff and buying so much stuff. You know, my favorite thing to listen to right now is the soundtrack to the horror movie Maniac. It's a remake. It just came out. It's a beautiful electronic soundtrack by this guy named Rob. And that's my favorite thing to listen to at the moment. It's really beautiful.
Thank you for the tip.
Yeah, I think you got to check it out.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's been really nice of you.
El placer es mío.
Bueno, aquí nos vamos ya. Dejamos a... Ha sido un placer, de verdad. Nos vamos a seguir tomando unos mojitos.